thank you very much, QCUA and BPI France for having us today. So today I would like to talk about an initiative that we have in France that aims at coupling HPC, supercomputers, with quantum devices, and that is called HQI, which stands for France Hybrid HPC Quantum Initiative. So the aim of this initiative is really to support the French and the European community to help it benefit from both HPC and quantum computing coupled together. So as I just mentioned, it's part of our French national quantum strategy. I don't know if some of you came to the national strategy update on Wednesday, but it was about this strategic plan. It was launched in 2021, and it's a plan for 5 years that covers cryptography, communications, computing, and also sensing. And so today I will focus more on computing, of course. And it's led by the French coordinator, which is Neil Abroog, and who will present the strategy later on today, I think. And so more centered on HQI. So the aim of this initiative is to build a production hybrid HPC QC platform based on the supercomputer Joliot-Curie, which you can see on the slide, that is hosted by CEA at the TGCC, so that's the supercomputing center south from Paris. This will be the first machine to host the QPUs. But it's also an academic and industrial research program that is based on the platform and that is steered by CEA. So in this initiative, Genci is responsible for the acquisition and the deployment of the quantum devices. And CEA is steering the research and the research program with numerous partners such as Eviden, the CNRS, INRIA, but also with Genci. And in the second part of the initiative, we are responsible for end-user support and for dissemination also. And we have an overall budget for this initiative that is a national budget of 72.3 million euros. That is balanced in a very balanced way between the two pillars that I just presented. So it's about 36.3 million euros for the acquisition and 36 million for the research program and the end-user support and dissemination. So this is an overview of the program that you can see here. It's centered around the hybrid platform that you can see. So as I just mentioned, the hybrid platform will be based on Joliot-Curie at first, which is a Genci supercomputer. But as some of you might know, we were selected to host the second Euro HPC exascale supercomputer around 2025-2026, along with the, so it was based on the Jules Verne proposal, so that's why you have a picture of this very well-known French writer. And we were also co-funded, well, in the consortium, we also have SURF from the Netherlands, so it's also a European consortium. But more on the other parts of this program. So today I will give you an update on a few items of this program, more on the platform side and on the end-user support side. But as you can see on the top of the slide, you have the main items from the research program, which are focused on the integration between HPC and quantum, which is not trivial at all. And that is mostly carried out based on the Eviden Captiva platform, also relying on the expertise from CEA in that area. We also have applications tracks that are pursued in the research program. And we have more exploratory topics such as noise characterization and mitigation based on the QPUs that we have, and on that we'll have, and also the use of quantum links for computing. And of course, because it's important for us to also bring together HPC and quantum communities, which are communities that were a bit separate previously. We have a lot of effort, we put a lot of efforts in dissemination, trying to federate these ecosystems and communities. And I will tell you more on that later. So first, there are a few services that are already available in our hybrid HPC QC platform. They are mostly relying on emulation capabilities. So part of it is rather hardware agnostic, and that is based on the Evident Captiva platform and MyQLM environment. So for those who want to learn how to program in a hardware agnostic way, you can have access to it through the HQI platform already today. And for people who are more interested in learning about computing with photons, we also have Perceval from Candela, the linear optics environment that is accessible in this platform. And we also tried to support the dissemination around this environment by supporting the Locaton, which they organized around this environment. And we also have Pulsar, which is the environment from Pascal, and that can allow you to discover how to compute using neutral atoms. So this is already available. This has been available for a while, and we are working on a second version of these emulation environments. We are in contact with a lot of people in the room and outside to try to identify which are the environments that might serve our ecosystem better. So you should hear more on that in Q2 this year. But of course, the aim of that platform is also to host actual QPUs. So we've purchased, relying on a European project called HPCQS, which was presented, I think, yesterday by Oscar Diez. We purchased a system from Pascal, so it's a 100 plus atom system that is currently being delivered at TGCC in the quantum room. And which I think the delivery should end by May, and the system should be available for users at around September this year. So we are very excited about it. That's a first for us. The second system that aims to be acquired in that environment is the photonic one. So again, we relied on a European project to acquire this system. So we applied to a Euro HPC call for expression of interest in, I think it was in June 2022, and the tender for the photonic system was launched end of January. I think it was closed yesterday. So we should be able to tell you more on that, and to have also a kind of deadline of when the system will be available and who will be providing it. And it was acquired through the EuroQCS France consortium that also gathers iCheck in Ireland, Jülich in Germany. We also have the University of Bucharest in Romania in our consortium, and of course CEA and Genci. And we are currently working on the next acquisitions in this program. We have 2 tracks that will benefit from 2 specific acquisition procedures. The first one is that we'd like to invest in spin qubits, because we think it's one of the next steps in the quantum platforms that we'd like to provide to our end users. And we also like to explore the use of quantum links in a supercomputing center. So we are currently exploring both tracks, and we should be able to tell you more on that in a few months. So that's where we stand on the platform side. But we also have we also put a lot of effort in developing the use of these hybrid environments. So we've been involved in a program supported by the Paris region since 2020. that is called the Paris Region Quantum Pact. And this initiative aimed at co-funding explorations, 2-year explorations, that brought together an industrial player that brought a use case, an industrial problem, and we connected them with startups and with academics that could bring the quantum knowledge. And the idea was to try to find a resolution path in the quantum or in the hybrid HPC quantum paradigm. And so this program has been super successful. We've been able to promote 12 projects so far. Other ones are coming. And the idea would be to extend this initiative at a national level in France through the houses of quantum call that I will present later. But we'd like also to extend it at a European level through the centers of the Euro HPC Centers of Excellence. So you'll find here some very well-known players from France and also companies that established some offices in France. And for your information, we are organizing a seminar on the 24th of April at the EDF lab in Palaiseau, so south from Paris, to provide some updates on these various projects. And we are also working on the launch of CALL to establish a network of houses of quantum. So as I think you might have noticed, we have a very dynamic ecosystem here in France, but that is not only centered in Paris, which is nice. We also have a lot of skills in other regions that could be very useful to a national network, and we're trying to foster the connections between the various players in different regions to have a very strong network of HPC QC ecosystem, and to also be able to have them represented at the international level. For example, by connecting the dots with the houses of quantum in the Netherlands, but also, for example, in Canada with the Sherbrooke Innovation Zone. So we are trying to really foster this dynamic by providing some co-funding and some guidance also to connect these quantum ecosystems with supercomputing centers in various regions in France to make sure that we bring these communities together also in other regions. And we've already had a very good example of this kind of initiative in Paris because we were there for the launch of the House of Quantum in Paris at Station F in October 2023. And last but not least, we are also very active in the dissemination area. So as you may know, we have a very big event here in France every year that is called Vivatech, and that has reached quite a very nice level in terms of attendance. So this year, like last year, we will have a quantum village by HQI at Vivatech, where we will be hosting 12 startups from our ecosystem. So most of them are represented here. And we will also have some talks from international delegations, but also from research organizations, industrial companies, universities, presenting what they are doing to foster the dynamic around HPC and quantum. And last year we had the chance to receive the visit from our Minister of Research and Higher Education, Sylvie Retailleau, on the booth. I think you might recognize some of the people on the pictures, which is nice. And so we really hope that we'll have as much success as last year this year. And we'll also have a vulgarization session on the Saturday because it's open to families. So there's a broader audience on the Saturday. And to leave you with an action plan, if you want to have access to the HQI platform, you can request this access on the IDARI platform. I have my colleague Felix here with me, so if you have questions, just come to us and we can help you set this access up. And with that, I leave you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabine. We have plenty of time for questions, so please send them in. I do have a first one, Sabine. So I know you had one slide on some of the different use case studies people have done. Could you talk more about what use cases are of interest or how you would plan on going about exploring those? Different use cases and applications for material science or pharmaceuticals or those types of things.
So at first, we've got some interest from the energy sector. I think you can see it on the. I don't know if I can get back on the slide
yes,
here so that you can see the various use cases. So there were use cases on pharmaceutical research, but also some use cases on more industrial processes. And we've got a whole batch of use cases related to the aerospace defense sector that really gathered some very important companies for us in France, like Candela, Alice & Bob, Pascal. And more recently, we receive a lot of attention from the finance banking industry. So that's probably more where it's headed. We'd like to have some more logistics problem also explored. But we always have new industrial players coming to us with use cases, and we try to match them with the right players. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And another question is, can foreign companies apply for PAC Quantique? And more generally, can commercial companies, for-profit companies, apply to access to the HPC quantum system?
Okay, so the quantum pack from the Paris region, it's aimed to develop the attractivity of the region. So the goal is to support the companies that agreed to set up offices and R&D teams in the region. So that's the rule of the game. I'd say for the national quantum pact, the idea will be the same. You'll have to have offices in France, and the R&D should be also developed in France. For the European one, then I guess the rules will be changed, and it's nice too to have international collaborations. And for the second question on the access to the HQI platform, so I think there are 2 access tracks, but all of them will be for open research. Open research is not necessarily academic research. It just means that you need to publish the results from your research. So for-profit organizations can have access to the HQI platform, and they will also be able to access some of these devices that are being acquired by EuroHPC through the EuroHPC access platforms. And then they will also have access to the LRZ device, to Chineka's device, to the other center's devices.
Okay, excellent. That was the next and last question was, will the research be published? And you've just answered that through open research.
Yeah, the aim is to bring it to the community because it's funded with government's funds, so it makes sense.